This is Carrie Fiel, City Joe here in Sacramento, California, and I'm here with Chi Cheng from the Deftones.
How you guys doing?
So, how did you first get interested in music?
Oh.
That's a big one.
I grew up not listening to music.
Oh, okay.
At all, you know what I mean? Because my choices were Crystal Gale or Chinese opera, so I just didn't listen to music. And then my brother, he got into, heavy metal music, and he bought a guitar. Didn't have anyone to play with, so he bought me a bass. And, but then after that it was over. I sat around and played, 6 to 8 hours a day.
Some people speculate that some of the lyrics from the Deftones songs are inspired by your enthusiasm for animal rights.
We agreed a long time ago that politics and things of those natures would be things that each member could do on the side.
Okay.
That way, because we were all so different politically.
Oh, really?
That it would never work out.
So that you don't think that Deftones has like a political message that they would want their audience to come away with, or their fans to take with them?
I think that our message, if anything, would be that we're on stage smiling and having a good time. We're very passionate about our music, which I think a lot of people misconstrue as us being angry, but it's actually us being very passionate. Mm-hmm. And if anything, we'd like the crowd to join us in that kind of passion and intensity, and more of it at a positive outlet. Mm-hmm. So we don't want to see any knucklehead violence. We like to see everyone have a great time along with us and then walk away and feel like they'd had a really beautiful experience,
Right.
We'll see.
What causes do you feel passionately about?
Obviously, I've done a lot of PETA stuff. I don't know, I think right around White Pony was coming out, we were doing really well. So I started a music program for the homeless teens here in Sacramento, mm-hmm. which is really nice. And then I would actually play with them too, because I think it's more important to be hands-on. It's right. Not, being a benefactor is great. Hey, here's some money.
Right.
Now I'm a philanthropist. But you never get hands-on with the kids, and I think that's not cool. So I'd go and play music with them on Wednesdays. And then donated some money to Weave, which is women escaping a violent environment. And I'm very, very proactive in that kind of situation, because I think that the male population has not evolved enough to make it equivocal for women.
Mm-hmm. We actually have been talking a lot about how youth today doesn't really have a unified political voice under music. Like in the 70s or even 60s, 50s, kind of there was that motivation around music that would rally a group of young people. Do you think that there is something like that for you today in music? Or do you think music has a responsibility to provide an environment like that?
Yes, I think it's absolutely necessary. But like I said, it depends on the individual and the artist, you know what I mean? You don't want an artist who doesn't know his homework, mm-hmm. or is preaching a message that he doesn't know anything about.
Right.
But it would be nice. I mean, the closest thing we had is the Rock the Vote thing.
Right. Yeah.
But then it didn't really tell people to do the homework on your candidates. Mm-hmm. It was more like, all right, get out there and vote. And then people were, okay, oh shit, I've got to vote.
Right.
What are you voting for? You know what I mean?
Maybe it was a little bit more commercialized.
Yeah, it was commercialized.
Not as organic.
Yeah, and not only that, it didn't stir the cognition of who should I be voting for,
right.
and what are the reasons. And besides, with special interest groups and lobbyists, I don't feel that we really even have a president we're voting on anyhow. Right. Not to be a pessimist, but I think the government is pretty much, controlled by the deep pocket people, and whoever we voted for is not really going to serve our country. They're going to serve the special interest groups and the lobbyists that line their pockets.
Right.
So
I think a lot of people have that view. I mean, mm-hmm. but I think now it's becoming more popular for celebrities or artists to really get out there and be vote third party, vote Democrat or whatever. And mm-hmm. I mean, at least
I think Well, I think that's where my stress, which is the reason that I've always worked with charities in Sacramento, is that unless I can generate the income that Sting is making or something like Bono's doing,
Right.
then what you should do is on a local level get involved with your political scene and your charities and find out what they are and make a difference on your level.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's no way we're going to make a gigantic, huge, world-changing, thing. But what you can do is do your homework, find out what's going on in your own community, and hopefully make a positive influence there.
Right.
Unless you are Bono, keep up the good work. So, yeah.
Actually, ask about your father being from China and. How has that made you look at the U.S. and their immigration laws a little differently? I mean, Chinese Americans were really oppressed probably back when your father came across.
Yeah, he got off the boat with $1.72, and saw the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island and the whole 9 yards. But, I mean, our whole country is founded on immigrants. You know what I'm saying? So unless you're Native American, this isn't really your country. So, the idea of, building walls and fences and keeping people out is fairly, un-American.
And the regeneration campaign, too, is something that you're a part of, the Virgin Mobile.
Yep.
So that is really exciting.
No, I think, what, are we going to give up a ringtone? And then, people are going to get clothed. I mean, that's a pretty big no-brainer for me, you know what I'm saying? You don't even, so, the spoken word CD actually I put out, I donated half the profits to charities, all the local charities that I like to work with.
That's great.
So, yeah. Because I'm going to write anyways, and writing is free, and, if you're a true artist, you're going to do it anyways. You're going to be a musician, or you're going to be a writer anyways. It's not like you can turn it off. So I figured, I'm already getting paid to be a musician, which is a blessing in itself. Why would I try and, I'm going to get a little more skrill from being a poet or a writer, I figured, why don't I do something decent and turn some of that money around and do something good with it, So.
Do you feel like your image as a rock star, how you're portrayed, through concerts or the media, really conflicts with how you actually see yourself?
Yeah. Music is a small part of my life, and the rest of it is very, more filling and more sustenance of what I am, more characterization of what I really am. But the rock star, at the same time it does kind of help fuel other things. So if you take it in, it's a humble way, and especially, being a Buddhist, the whole thing is to kill ego. And so have the duality of being in a rock band and having that much attention placed on you, but then trying to be a decent Buddhist and trying to kill ego. I think Adam Yuk is a pretty good practicing Buddhist from Beastie Boys, and you know what I mean? I've heard really good things about, everything he's doing. And so I think that's a nice dichotomy to have,
Keeps you balanced.
Yeah, sometimes.
Now, what would you say to a young person who feels as disillusioned with government as you do?
You know what? If you're a young person, you're disillusioned, do your homework. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, there's so many great mediums out there. Obviously, the internet, which I can barely use because I'm old now, is a great medium. You can go and you can read some. Chomsky's got a great website. Howard Zinn has a great website. If you feel disillusioned, then I would go and read, go on the internet, talk to people, join groups, and get as much information as you can so you can make, an educated decision that fits you.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Thank you so much for meeting with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was awesome.
Nice.